Hey, Briana, it's good to see you.
Hey, good to see you too.
So I saw your plan. I thought it was very ambitious, but I really loved that you focused on the first mathematical practice of making sense of problems and persevering in solving them.
Yes.
And then you built in the SEL component of emotional awareness in that first problem that you gave them.
Right.
It is ambitious. You've got a lot in that lesson. Do you have concerns or things that you want to make sure we address?
Well, I wanted to address this with them now because as we work on fractions, they were feeling so confident, and I was so proud of them that they were doing so well with their fractions. Then what happened is once we moved from solving equation problems where it's simply, a horizontal or vertical, this plus this. When we got into worksheets or book problems that were wordy, that were those story problems, it was an immediate, even if they were blowing through all the ones before, it was this immediate, nope, I need help. They're like, I'm done, I'm not even gonna try. Because I would go over and I would say, all right, well, did you read it? No. He said, I didn't even read it. So I knew that there was some sort of block and that this would be a great time to talk about that. So I think that it's something that's going to be very useful for them. I'm worried a little bit about their response. I'm worried about their sort of ability, the maturity of picking up what I'm trying to help them learn. I really need to spell it out for them. I'm a little worried about classroom management as well with 36 of them, but I think we can make it work.
It's a tricky question, and I often wonder, because kids are so unused to the question, how do you feel about this problem?
Yes.
I wonder if they'll get it.
Right.
And I think your idea of having them talk in table groups first to sort of flesh out their ideas and then talk to you, I think that gives it a higher probability of success.
Yeah, we sit them in very heterogeneous groups, so we do have the more talkative, the more shy, the more articulate, the ones that need a little bit of time to they're talking but nothing's come out. I mean, and I want them to be able to support each other. I hear all the time, how much that helps them. One kid will start, I see that makes me feel that way too. And that's the support I want to give them to hopefully get a conversation going.
I'm guessing, given you've heard those things, that they're going to be able to talk about this. I'm guessing that they're going to come up with sharing their feelings. I think one of the things that this leads me to one of my questions for you is we've both been talking a lot about Miguel and concerned with generally that he's very quiet. He tends to not engage. It's a little unclear how much he's understanding, as he is pretty much a monolingual Spanish speaker at this point in the very early emergent stages. What sort of things could we do in the lesson that would help include him?
I've been thinking about Miguel a lot across all subjects. I think that at his table sits a girl named Leslie who is not only bilingual, because a lot of my students are naturally, but she's also very outgoing, and she can draw kids out quite a bit. So I want to switch her and make sure she's with Miguel. I don't want him to feel like he can't talk to the person next to him. And she will absolutely include him, and she loves to be the one to help him. It makes her feel very special. She loves to help teach him. So I'm going to put them together, and I think the combination of her and the fact that we're going to have manipulatives in hand and moving things around is hopefully going to scaffold enough for him at this time. Of course, I'll check in a lot and make sure they're working well. But I want him to have the fraction kit in front of him.
Okay. So you want him to be the kit holder.
Yes.
Yeah. One of the things that, first of all, I loved that you were doing actually one of the second mathematical practices, which is modeling with mathematics. And you really built it into your lesson using both the kit and modeling with the equation. One of the concerns I had as I looked over the plan is you're talking about kids having a whiteboard and a fraction kit, and you said you were concerned about some management issues. I'm wondering if we can simplify that.
Okay, what do you think?
You might try, and it also might lead to better interaction, that one child does the whiteboard and the equation, and the other child does the fraction kit. And then what we'll try and do, what you want them to do, is of course talk to each other, such that the equation matches what they've modeled with the kit.
Right, okay.
But if they each have one, I think it's a little less cumbersome, little less stuff. It is.
We're now cutting down each pair would have 2 fraction kits, 2 whiteboards, 2 dry erase markers, 2.
It's too much.
It's a lot, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And that would work great because then Miguel will really be able to focus on his kit. And he won't have to worry so much about the writing numbers. Of course he can write. It's
Yes.
not like writing English
Yes.
words, but it's this that he needs, the kit in front of him. So that'll work great for them. And you're right, I think it'll work really well just in terms of how many kids I have and how much
That's
work
a
they need to
big
get done.
class.
Yeah.
36 children is a big class.
That's great. It's unnecessary
Okay.
for them to each, and they can even switch if we need to.
That's a great idea. I think I would build in a structured switch such that they're going back and forth.
Okay.
And hopefully, Leslie will do some of the things that I know you've been working on in your class, which is really explain to him, this is why my equation matches your kit.
Right.
And we might think of building in some more structured prompts to accomplish that.
Yeah,
But
that would
first,
be
let's
great.
get our feet on the ground and see
Yeah.
if we can make this work.
Yeah,
As I say, I like the fact that you are both modeling it in front of the children, then you built into your lesson this shared, we'll do it together, and then you hope that they will do well enough with it that you can turn them loose with it. But so often, beginning teachers are unwilling to give kids the stuff. And I thought it was very brave of you to be willing to do that. It is a management issue, but I think we've got some strategies now to make it more manageable.
Yeah, I think that it's going to work if we do it this way, yeah.
So I'll get there pretty much first thing in the morning. When I come to observe, is there anything in particular you'd like me to look for or that you'd like to focus on as we work together?
Yes, first of all, since I'm really focusing on Miguel, and that's clearly a big topic here, I would love your help monitoring how Miguel is doing working with Leslie. It's
Sure.
not just about
Sure.
Leslie's building on her social interaction skills. I want to see if Miguel, besides getting it, which I hope that the math concepts become clear to him, I would love to hear him feel comfortable talking and open up with us in class. So I want to hear some language from him, Spanish or English. So if you could help me keep an eye on them and let me know anything I missed, that would be great. As far as my teaching at the board, it's a struggle really to be talking to them instead of at the board, but also effectively modeling those manipulatives without dropping them everywhere and moving from manipulative to written equation. So I want to make sure that I'm doing that effectively. So if you could keep an eye on that and give me feedback on how smoothly that goes.
Absolutely.
Make sure that I'm talking to them and not to the board. And that using the manipulatives is effective the way that I've organized it on the board.
Yeah, we practiced that in class and learned that it was really very hard.
Yes.
And to clearly link the fraction kit and the quantity to the quantity in your equation and keep the flow going. Absolutely.
Right.
I can look for that and I'll give you some feedback on it after we do the observation.
Yeah, that would be great.
So here's my question for you, and it's funny because it's rather parallel to what you're asking the children. Here you are, you're going off into what is an ambitious lesson, a challenging lesson, a very good lesson.
Thank you.
How do you feel?
I'm a little stressed. There's a lot of pieces I need to get together. There's a lot of classroom management that I need to make sure is in order in the week leading up to.
Yes.
A lot of prep. Familiarity with the fraction kits would probably help too. So I'm a little stressed, but I think it's manageable if I take it a day at a time.
I think so too, and I think it also brings to mind, it's like, it will be hard the first time, and it won't be the last time that you try to model with mathematics this way.
Right.
We get better at it with more practice,
Right.
and it's true for the kids, and it's true for us.
Yeah.
So I think this is a great lesson, and you should go for it.
All right, sounds great. Thank you for looking over it for me. Appreciate
My
it.
pleasure.